Başkent University, esteemed director, esteemed dean, dear participants, it's really a pleasure to be with you at the opening ceremony of our workshop and forum program of Turkey-Germany Green Film Experience Sharing Project. This project aims to foster both social and sectoral benefits by promoting environmentally conscious production practices within the film industry and strengthening awareness of sustainability. By leveraging Germany's expertise in green filmmaking, we seek to enhance our national film industry's international competitiveness, adapt innovations to our film industry, and expand awareness of green film practices. Our event brings together international experts specially working on green film and sustainable production. We are honored to have Donald Hauer and Matteo Sant-Union, members of the board of the German Federal Association of Green Consultants, along with Anastasia Lankunen, co-founder of the International EcoCup Green Documentary Film Festival, and green film experts, to share their valuable insights and experiences. These contributions aim to enhance the awareness of Turkish producers, industry professionals, public institutions, universities, and professional associations regarding sustainable production. We are very pleased to have reached a wide spectrum of participants from public institutions, industry, professional associations, and academia as part of this event. Following the training sessions, we will address the current state and potential of green filmmaking in Turkey in our panel forum session with valuable contributions from you, our esteemed participants. In this way, we aim to strengthen information sharing and collaboration opportunities regarding green film production in our country. We would also like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Ministry of Culture and Tourism's General Directorate of Cinema and Goethe-Institut Ankara for their invaluable support in bringing this important event to life. Together, we will explore the power of green filmmaking to enhance environmental consciousness and encourage new business models in the industry. Thank you in advance for your contributions and valuable participation, and I wish all attendees a fruitful event. Thank you all. And for the greetings, I just want to invite the Dean of Faculty of Fine Arts from Başkent University, Professor Dr. Hakan Turgut.
Sayın hocalarım, değerli öğrenciler, değerli katılımcılar ve misafirler. Üniversitemizde film tasarım bölümünün düzenlediği bu etkinliğe katılım sağladığınız için hepinize öncelikle fakültem ve üniversitem adına teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Bu tür ülkelerle yapılan faaliyetlerin film endüstrisi gibi dünyadaki en büyük endüstrilerden biri olan endüstriye katkı sağlayacağını, öğrencilerimizin ufuklarını açacağını ve ülkeler arasındaki ilişkileri geliştireceğini düşünüyorum. 2 gün boyunca sürecek karşılıklı bilgi alışverişinin öğrencilerimize sağlayacağı ve hocalarımıza sağlayacağı katkılar büyük olacaktır. Ben bu 2 gün boyunca hepinize bu faaliyette başarılar diliyorum. Teşekkür ediyorum.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Dean. Just to summarize, he also thanked to our lecturers and guests and also the supporting institutions for their support for this event, and he wished a fruitful event for us all. Thanks, Mr. Dean. And now I want to leave the floor to Mr. Dalhaus for the greetings of the Goethe-Institut Ankara.
Yes, good morning. I prepared 2 pages, but I'm probably the only one who doesn't know anything about green filmmaking here in this room, so I will sum it up a bit. I like to start with a welcome. We are pleased and honored when I mean my colleague Linda Rödel and me from the Goethe-Institut. I would like to thank you, Professor Nihan Ishikman and the Dean. Thanks for your cooperation being here at the Başkent University. We feel pleased to be here. When we started working on this issue, green filmmaking, I asked myself and Linda too, is environmental filmmaking really such a big issue? And I was surprised to find out it is, at least maybe more in Germany now, focusing where it, I don't know, maybe started, but it became an issue in different terms of its condition. Of course, there are environmental benefits. As we all know, we live in an age of transition. Environmental issues are a big thing. But it's also about green filming, about cost efficiency. It's about recognition from peer groups, which is probably getting more and more an important issue. When you go to the stock exchange, you're dealing more and more with so-called ESG score, means environmental, social governance score. For filmmaking, that might be the future as well, that it's kind of label making green films. It's a question of significant cost reduction, and of course, at least in Germany and maybe in Turkey in the future as well, it's a question of regulatory requirements. And when you deal with green film production, you're at least at the top of this and maybe also ahead of legalizations in the future. Well, we are pleased to be here. We wish you fruitful days with our guests from Germany and from Istanbul. Thanks once again for being here at Başkent University. And in the evening, Linda and me, we will know a bit more about the results of your first day. And we are looking forward to it. Enjoy your day.
Mr. Frederick, before you leave,
yes,
we have a small present for you.
We love presents.
I just want to have my dean again on the floor.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much.
Enough for the photographs.
So, enjoy it.
Okay, then let the event begin. I'm leaving the floor to Anastasia, Donald, and Matteo for the very exciting and fruitful 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Nihan.
Thank you so much. Okay, nice. Can you hear me? Sounds good. Thank you so much, Nihan, and for the kind introduction. Maybe to introduce ourselves a little bit more, that you know who we are. I give the mic to you, ladies first.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. So my name is Anastasia Laukanen. I am not German. I am Russian, but based in Istanbul. But it happened that I work a lot with this topic, mostly in education way. So I've been organizing a green documentary film festival in Russian-speaking countries, and working a lot with the green documentary film festivals in Turkey too. But last couple of years I moved to education, sustainability education, climate change education, and interactive education. Because when it comes to sustainability and the future, it's never about one person who tells you what to do. It's always about us all trying to figure it out. So today we're gonna do not only lectures and listening, today we're gonna hear from you a lot as well.
Yeah. My name is Matteo. I'm from Cologne in Germany, and I work in a film production company that I founded myself back in 2018. It's called Cinemars, and our slogan is Filming for Change, and that's what we do. So a lot of topics around social change, sustainability. We work together with ministries, NGOs, and also like charities. But we also have our own formats, so like documentaries and also fictional formats. Yeah, and since I think 2 years, I'm also a board member of our Federal Association for Green Consultants Germany. We will talk about that later. And yeah, give the word to you.
Thank you, Matteo. Yeah, I'm also a member of the board of the Federation of Green Consultants, and my name is Donald Hauer. I'm also a filmmaker, and I'm studied filmmaking in Berlin, where I come from. And I also founded the first green film festival in Germany called Green Me. It happened during the International Film Festival Berlinale. and I did that as a festival director for 5 years. And on behalf of that, I have a production company, and I'm developing serial fictional formats, also one together with Anastasia. And we met 1 year ago in Vienna in a panel for the International Screen Institute, and since then we're working together.
Yeah, and we have intense 2 days with you, and we would like to have this very interactive. We have like the focus on the first day more on input and more on like green production. So why do we do it and how do we do it, especially in Germany. And on the second day we would love to go more on the storytelling part. So how can we tell sustainability, how can we implement it in also commercials, documentaries and fictional films and in the script already. And I just want to say that you can ask your questions at any time. If you also like language-wise, I don't know, sometimes maybe the word that we use, maybe it's too complicated or stuff. So just raise your hands if anything is unclear or you want to go into detail because we try to give you the whole picture. And if you know more about that, just raise your hand at any point.
It's also sometimes complicated for us, the English
Yeah.
words, so please ask.
Yeah. Okay, and with that, I would say we will. We do that also. Yeah, maybe I can just give the microphone around you, and you just say like your name and your position or what you are doing, so we know. I don't know if you came from.
Yeah, it can be it can be very short. It can be like I'm filmmaker, scriptwriter, student. So like just for us to understand who is in the room.
Can make two.
I am Nihan. I'm a head of the film department here in Başkent University.
Yeah, İclal. I'm the research assistant in the same department. I'm Gönül. I'm associate professor in Gaziantep University.
I am Cihan. I am research assistant at Başkent Film department. Thank you for.
My name is.
So we have two microphones, so we can just one? Okay, one.
My name is Nalan Büker. I'm coming from Istanbul. I'm the dean of the Fine and Arts Faculty, the Arab University. But before I got retired, I was a producer director in the television sector, as a freelancer producer director for a long time, around 30 years. Okay.
Hello, my name is Nurten. I'm an academic, but together with my colleague, we established Ecofilm Sustainable Production Platform. It's the first initiative in Turkey right now, was trying to publish guidelines and developing educational modules for green filmmaking.
Hi, I'm Ekin. I'm academic, and as Nurten said, I'm co-founder of Ecofilm Sustainable Production Platform. And this platform was born out of a project that I coordinate, a British Council-funded project, Connect for Environmental Sustainability in Film and the Media in Turkey. So the project is still going on. 1 year, we had just finished 1 year of the project, and there's 1 more year to go. And as Nurten said, we are going to publish sustainable production guides, and we also prepared some educational modules. So it's going on.
Hello, my name is Sula. I'm a student. I am studying mathematics in Middle East Technical University. I'm here mostly because of the sustainability problem, and filmmaking is kind of an imitating a life or some different lives. So I think we all can find some ways to implement those things we will learn here in our lives and in with some people we're associated with.
Hi, this is Ersin. I am a cinematographer also, and I am director of Sustainable Sets Turkey Cinema Union. Thank you.
Hey, first of all, thank you for coming here. I'm Hande. I'm studying at this university. It's my last year, movie design and direction. That's all. Thank you.
My name is
Ceren. I'm film design student.
Hello, my name is Derin Bilgiç, Başkent University students.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah. I'm Palestinian, studying filmmaking here, Başkent. Also, I'm working as a freelancer. This handsome guy. Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Umut.
Students, design.
Hello, I'm Bilge. I study film design at this university, and it's my last year.
Hello, my name is Mohammed. I am a student in Başkent University.
Our students. We met yesterday. My name is Aslı. I work here in film department. I'm assistant professor here, teach theory actually.
I'm a student in Başkent University in department.
Hello, I'm Tutku. I graduated from Radio, Television and Cinema at Başkent University, and now I'm doing my master's in Hacettepe.
Go there, yeah.
I am Ece. I'm a wildlife filmmaker. I just retired from TRT 3 months ago, and I'm the very recent founder of the Ankara Wildlife Documentary Film Festival. I think I met you in Innsbruck.
Right?
Yeah. I remember.
That's cool.
Hello, my name is Cansu. I'm coming from Denizli. I'm an academician. That's all.
My name is Fatih. I'm project assistant at Video. We are a community software and digital arts.
Hello, my name is Erhan. I'm coming from Konya. I am a researcher at Social Innovation Agency. Thank you. Hello, I am Kadir, researcher at Social Innovation Agency.
Hello, I'm Duygu Çalı. I'm a actual program producer and announcer. I'm here because Başkent University's channel B, I will make the news about this organization today or tomorrow, and I want to report with you.
Hi, I'm Duygu. I work at DG for Copyright, Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
Hi, my name is İlker Bulat. I am doing my master's in Radio, Television and Cinema Department in Başkent.
Hi, I'm Nesli. I'm a student of film department in this university. That's all.
Thank you.
Wow, super. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, and we also want to say that we are very thankful and grateful to make this workshop here with you together, because it's very worth it to spread the word about green filming.
Such a diverse room. Thank you so much. I mean, that's going to be interesting. Now, before we dive, because we're going to start with pretty technical information, so that we're going to see it for the first part of the day for sure. So before that, let's move a little bit. Can I invite you all here? You can stand up and just come here.
Yeah, you can all come to us.
Yeah. It's going to be 5 minutes, a little bit of system mapping, just for us to understand who is in the room about some specific questions. So just
Hast du schon von eingetrunken?
Nee. Already been sitting a while, so let's move a little bit. Mateo, can I ask you to help? Yeah. So, Donut, you stay here.
Yes.
Mateo, you go all other way there. So I will have 3 questions. There, hi, me, I'm me. carefully, you're gonna move. So just for us to understand and for you also to understand who is in the room. So the first question is, how deep you know the topic of sustainability, climate change and environment? And I want you to choose a place on this line, so like don't have to go like right to the corner. So there is, I been studying the topic, like I have doctorate in sustainability, like let me tell you what is sustainability. I know very, very deeply. So this is extreme here. And Matteo, I heard about sustainability yesterday, but I think it's very important, but I'm not really sure about details. So find your place in this line.
0 to 10.
I know so much about climate change. I've been teaching it for years. Really not sure about sustainability.
Also in between, right?
Well, yeah, of course,
also in between, from
yeah,
0 to 10. This is a line in between us.
This is 4. I am 4.
Maybe a 3.
Very, very, like there is nobody there. Why you're there?
Where then? This is the line.
The line is here.
In between.
The line is here.
Yeah. So you're very...
Fiziğimize göre 0'dan 10'a bu çizgi üzerinde bir yere.
Just join us then.
Okay, let's go back to
Hi, that's
So you're here, you're in the middle, right? You're here in the middle, right? You know something about sustainability, yeah? Can I hear here? You're not afraid of me. Why are you running away from me? Just can you say why you're here? Like what you heard about sustainability, you're very new, just like why you're in this point of space.
I don't know much information about that.
Okay, so here we're very new.
Please do feel free that whenever you want, I can support you with translation. Lütfen hani aksması adına etkinliğin verimli olmasına çeviri ihtiyacınız olduğunda hemen beni çağırın.
Ben de Türkçe konuşuyorum. Okay, can I ask you just like a little bit words? Can you say why you're here? Like I've been in this topic a lot. I've been teaching.
I have to think about that more, I guess.
Why you're here?
Yes. Can I explain that one? No, I am çevirebilirsen daha iyi olacak. Ya benim uzun zamandır ekoloji takıntım vardı zaten ve fokuslandığım bir alan ama film sektöründe bunu nasıl yapacağımıza dair uzun süredir araştırmalar yapıyorduk.
He's been working on film industry for a long time and been thinking about ecological filmmaking
Görüntü
for a
yönetmeniyim
long
aynı
time.
zamanda.
He's a DOP.
Aynen. Kendim de sustainable bir yaşamı deneyimlediğim
He's
için.
also experiencing the sustainable lifestyle.
Aynen bu modeli de film endüstrisine nasıl uygulayabiliriz ve daha az enerji nasıl tüketebiliriz üzerinden bir
And he
araştırma
wants to
içinde.
adapt this sustainable living style to film industry. And he doesn't say, but I want to say, he is the representative of Cinema TV
Yes,
Syndicate for Sustainable Filmmaking Commission.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
For us, it's very important question because we will have information about climate change, sustainability goals, and like a little bit data of why it is important. So for us, we need to know how deep to go to the topics. So like first part, you will need to listen carefully. You will probably need to make and relax. Great, thank you so much. Second question. When you think about the future, how optimistic you are?
From 0 to 10 again?
Exactly. Yes. So when we're going to which side? Which side? So yeah. When we go there, let's make you optimist. So everything is gonna be fine. I mean, like we're gonna make it. We're gonna invent something. We're gonna survive. Matteo side here, I can really do. I'm not sure something, but I mean, like this, like you're really not moving from here.
Gelecek senaryosu hakkında ne kadar olumlu düşünüyorsunuz, ne kadar olumsuz? 0'dan 10'a gene çizgi üzerinde bir yer alıyor.
So optimist, pessimist.
Come to me.
Really, can I talk to the most optimistic person in the
Please, some
room?
optimism.
We make the future and I believe in the youth and I feel myself young as well. That's why I believe in my generation rather than the earlier generation.
I am here as well. I mean, like, it's not radical optimism, like what are we doing? I'm like all the way here.
here.
You're behind me.
Exactly. Okay, let's talk about who is the most pessimist person in the room. I am really happy. So why are you here? The optimist are there.
Sürdürülebilir film yapımı konusunda olumsuz düşündüğün taraftasın. Neden olumsuz düşünüyorsun? Olumsuz mu düşünüyorsun? Ya da olumsuz mu düşünüyorsun?
Ben olumlu düşünüyorum.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly on the other
She's
side.
with us. She's with us. Yes, please go there because like the looking.
Very good.
Like
Happy.
Can I ask you? Are you not so positive?
Because my age. I think I will not reach the positive side till it's changing.
Okay, this is our job to be changing. Like, I mean, okay, it's like slightly pessimist part of the room, like, probably not so much. The good thing for us to know. Okay, the last question is more film connected one. So when you think about power of film, can film change anything? And again, no, this time let's make you, wait, let's make you optimist just to make you move.
Yeah.
Film can change the world. I mean, seriously, you take a good film and it change the world. The one over there,
No.
I mean, like, films are great, but can they really change something?
Filmin bu konu hakkında farkındalık yaratmak üzere ne kadar güçlü olduğunu düşünüyorsunuz. Bu sefer bu taraf güçlü olduğunu düşünüyorsanız bu taraf pek imkanı olmadığını, güçlü olmadığını düşünüyorsanız bu taraf.
Ya evet, film güzel bir şey ama gerçekten ne değiştirebilir ki? Yani. If you think here, it's here. If you think here in your film student, that's depressing. Okay, now that's optimism. Like, look at that. Let me see the most optimistic person in the room here.
I think the move can change because the film industry is very big ideological place for us and for others. And in Turkey, Reherdem did the film Neanderthal with this way, and I think our students have interest for this. And for example, my students, master student, working about this thesis with sustainability, and I think the film have a very big power for changing all of our view about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Ama burada soru biraz daha senaryolar üzerinden ya. Yani filmlerle biz bu algıyı değiştirebiliriz.
Ama hocam mesela Reherdem bunu yaptı ve ben mesela çok merak ettim onu yaptığı dönemde ve bayağı araştırdım. Yani bu yapıldı.
You're asking this question because you're in the middle. She's like all the way there. Can film change the world?
Hayır ama soru orada değiştiriyor. Onu söylüyorum ben.
You're good.
Ben de öyle anladım.
But still, look at that. Not so optimistic about the future, but about the industry. That's nice. Okay, and the last question, just for me, it was not in the plan, but just for me to understand. I speak English very good. Just. I'm gonna, like, I struggle a little bit. Okay, just also for us. Like we can speak more slowly and
Sure,
like,
yeah.
They said that they can understand but can't talk, so
Okay.
we're helping them talk.
With talking, no problem. Just speak Turkish and we will
We can
translate.
follow your pace.
I mean, just ask questions all the time so you can translate, and this will be the thing.
But in the moment, not like 1 hour we speak and then you're like, what was that again? Like, okay, thank you so much.
Just raise hand and then we go say, okay, question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Another
question.
Also einfach handwriting, we heard about Valencia quite often.
Okay. So So we're going to start. I also wanted to start with the first question, but maybe I just make by hand raising. Who have heard in the recent weeks about any climate change, expression of climate change or catastrophe?
Valencia, for example. Who heard about Valencia? The flood in Valencia?
Yes.
Not so much. Okay.
Who heard? Yeah. Or have you like felt it in the last years? Have you had a catastrophe which relate to the climate change in Turkey?
Yes, I think the last winter was a bit hot. We didn't see the ice as usual.
Okay. Very good.
Less snow.
Yeah, less snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't snow last year.
Mhm.
It is a catastrophe.
Yeah, you told us.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Fires in the south.
Yeah.
2 years.
And have you heard about the hurricanes, the last hurricanes in the United States? Yes. So, and the hurricanes are up to 30% more violent than before because the Gulf of Mexico is very hot. The water of the Gulf of Mexico is very hot. So it's about 30 temperature degrees, the water. And because the water is so hot, the hurricanes get very strong. And because of the hurricanes and other climate catastrophes in the past, there are in the United States at the moment about 6 million people without homes. So 6 million people are walking around the country without having, because they lost their homes in catastrophes of the climate change. So, and this is just, I wanted to just give an impression about how big already the problems are. So, and this is why we are thinking about green filmmaking and about telling green narratives, green stories, which give the message out to the people, so the people really, and also not only the message, but also possibilities to get to act. So,
Yeah.
and I go over to you. Yeah.
We want to go a little bit into the why. Maybe you know it already, but like the main issue for that is CO2, and you see here.
Yes.
This is like.
Can you change the microphone, please?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Is it better?
Okay, perfect.
Is it
Thank you.
Better? Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, because of the best, I think. Yeah, this is the CO2 level, and like in the last 800,000 years, this was like pure less the same level. You see it here. Oh no, it doesn't work. Yeah, you see it here. And like since industrialization, so like 1950, it was like rapidly going up because of fossil fuels. And there's like a measuring unit. This is like ppm, so parts per million. And like with more CO2, we have more change in weather, and we have more catastrophes, more floods, more fires, and so on. And this is a very important basis because like CO2 is also the measurement, for example, in film. So like we measure CO2 for every production in Germany at the moment that is publicly funded. And for example, like a Hollywood movie is about 500 tons of CO2. And like 1 ton is melting 3 square meters of Arctic ice. So just to know like a little bit how that, because CO2 is very abstract. And
the dimensions.
Yeah, the dimension is it's hard to catch. But I think this is very important. Have you seen already this chart? Have you seen it? No? Okay. Because, maybe you heard about, is the clicker working? Yeah. Yeah, maybe you heard about the IPCC. This is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. It's like really the mother of climate laws. And for example, in Germany, we now have a climate law. And for example, we have this quote here, but we have another quote from IPCC that says, climate change is a threat to human well-being and planetary health. The choices and action implemented in this decade will have impacts now and for thousands of years. So like we are living in this period of time, this is really crucial to change the way of living, to lower this curve you see in the background. And yeah, there's like the law that we want to be climate neutral in 2050. Climate neutral is like also a very abstract word, but because like no fossil fuels, I don't know if this will happen. But we show you some measures and some laws in the next charts. And for example, Germany said we will do that 5 years earlier, so 2045.
Sure, the Germans always 5 years before.
We will achieve that. I don't know why.
Not working.
But I don't know how. Yeah, and maybe you heard about this like 1.5 Celsius like limit. And at the moment we are already at 1.1 degrees Celsius, like global. You know, this is a global rise of temperature in average. So there are already parts of the world that are like higher and also like lower. And yeah, when we reach 1.5, like this is like a crucial point, and yeah, we shouldn't do that. It's bad, but maybe we can't avoid.
Yes.
Okay, so we come to another one. What is important? I give it to you.
Yes, thank you. Kannst du gleich weiterklicken dann zu den 17er Mitgliedern.
Yeah.
So what you see, the sign is the international sign of the 17 sustainability goals, which the UN decided to be in the Agenda 2030. And yeah, they're about socially and economical sustainable developments. And they invented in 2016, and they are not only sustainable but also social. But social sustainability and ecological sustainability are the same thing. Without a social sustainability, we can't have an ecological sustainability. So yeah, here you see them without color, and yeah, and there they come with the color. So it's first there's no poverty, then you have 0 hunger, good health and well-being, quality of education, 5th gender equality, 6 clean water and sanitation, 7 affordable and clean energy, 8 decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, and so on and on. So these 70 goals are really like the high standard we want to reach, and we are far away from that. Yeah, globally, far away at the moment, with all the problems and terrible wars and so on. Yeah, but still, we have to hold on this, because this is a really good plan and a good idea. So for especially for the film, we have like 3 very important sustainable development goals, and these are for sure like the consumption and production. It's number 12, and number 7 clean energy, and number 13 climate action. So these 3 are really in green production taking place all the time. So, but also we want to support the rest of the social and ecological sustainability goals. Yeah.
You want to go to Green New Deal?
Green New Deal? Yeah, that's nice. So, European-wise, who heard about the Green Deal, the European Green Deal? Yes. So Europe decided to have a Green Deal on terms of a lot of things. And it decided it together with all the countries in Europe. So they are in the middle of proceeding that plan. But also here we have like right-wing parties which come to power in Europe now and makes this plan a little bit fragile. But still we are on our way to reach those targets. And the targets we have, mach mal weiter bitte hier kurz. You can see it on the screen here. Nochmal weiter, please. Yeah. So we don't want to have more additional greenhouse gas than we had before. We should, as a European community, work as resource effective as possible, and no small region should be left behind. So nobody should suffer because of the transformation process. This is also very important. Then we are back on the social sustainability and that big part. Mach mal weiter, ne?
schon.
Ah ja, okay, dann mach mal zurück, da hast du es nicht überspielt, was ich da hingemacht habe. So basically it's about circular economy. about the green change globally, about sustainability in farming, and about protecting the nature which is left and grow the nature again, so make more nature happening in Europe. And very important, clean energy. The clean energy transformation in Europe is very important, and it's not so easy, I can tell you. And then build climate laws and build sustainable transportation system with electric cars. Therefore, you need a whole new infrastructure, so which has to be built, and it's already being built, but it's a process. It's all a process, and it's political. So we will see if we're going to make it. So the industry has to be greener industry. Therefore, we need like Wasserstoff.
Hydrogen.
Green hydrogen. So for making steel, for still producing like industrial material, we need hydro energy and green hydro energy. And yeah, it's a long way, and it costs a lot of money, and it would be a way to a positive future. And Europe still tries to make it. But yeah, this is the European Green Deal for all European countries. They decided to do that.
Yeah, and we come to one consequence of the Green Deal, and this is CSRD, which means Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. It's a complicated word, but it's very new, and that's why I thought we bring it to you. No, I think it's fine. Yeah, and this is like very new. It's like established this year, and there are a lot of companies that have to make reports on sustainability. And this is also, of course, an impact to the film industry, because some film studios, film production companies now have to report on their sustainability measures. And this is also like a yearly thing, so you have to analyze it and renew it. And yeah, you see it here, like at the moment it was like 12,000 companies, and with CSRD now we have like 50,000 companies that have to report. And this is, for example, it's a good job field at the moment, because like the sustainability managers that have to do the report, there are not a lot. So it's every company is searching for sustainability managers. So when you want to go in this direction, it's a good time.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is maybe like on the European level. Now we want to look how this all started in the film industry. Maybe you know this university of LA, so California, and there was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe you know him, but not in this position, because it's very funny. Because he was like, back in 2006, he was like, what is the pollution from the film industry about? And he
in Los Angeles, in California,
in Los Angeles, and he wanted to, or he initiated a study. And this was the study name, Sustainability in the Motion Picture Industry. You can Google it if you want to read it, because it's like really a milestone. It's like 120 pages, so you can read a lot about that. And yeah, it was very funny, because the film industry was like the second most polluting industry after the oil industry.
Mm-hmm.
So this is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, and this has started to change something in their minds, and also in ours, because this was also like a change for the European industry. And for example, Hollywood itself produces 15 million tons of CO2. You remember it in the background, 50 million tons of CO2 per year. This is as much as a major German city in a year, so it's a lot. And in Germany, for example, we have like, maybe this is like 100 tons when you see a normal TV show Sunday evening. So not so much like in USA, but it's a lot.
USA always bigger and better, so more CO2. Yeah, more money means more emissions also.
Perfect. Any question to CO2? Or are you fine with that? Nice. Okay, then I would say we go to the German journey.
Yes.
And I give back the mic.
Yes.
Mic drop.
Yeppa. So, in Germany, some good people thought about it too, about green filming, and they started with a working group called green shooting. And one funding in Germany was head of it and talked to the broadcasters and the big production companies if they want to work together with them to make the industry more sustainable. And they started with like little measures on energy level, on food level, and they said we want to have 100 productions which try to produce green. And this 100 production will be giving an example how we can, after that, what solutions we can find and how we can write it down as some kind of standards. So they did it, did the 100 sustainable film production project, and as a result of that came out the ecological standards. And these ecological standards are now our backbone for the work of green consulting and green film producing. So in these standards, because of the example of the 100 productions and the analysis of these 100 productions, they could invent the ecological standards as the manifest, as the paper, how the whole industry now working on. And also the government, after that, the government came into that project as well. The Ministry of Culture of Germany was taking part, and from 2023 on, it was obligatory to use these ecological standards if you had get money from the fundings or from the German official TV broadcasters. So if you're producing a movie now in Germany with funding money, cinema, series, broadcast, everything, and you have funding money or broadcast money from the official television channels, not from the private, but some private are also in it, like because they want to. Also Netflix and Amazon is producing green in Germany because they want to, because they also have some funding sometimes, so it's better anyway. So yeah, and these ecological standards are the base of and the backbone of our work as green consultants.
So you said if they want to, so Netflix, they don't have to.
If they don't have funding, they don't have to. But because they know it's a big topic in Germany, they say, okay, anyway, we produce it. We play the rule, and we do it for all productions. I think so.
Also, they are starting a big company for to use less energy. If Disney and Netflix, they will make it together.
Yeah.
Like a server system, like for streaming, or yeah.
No, for the production.
For the production.
Not everywhere, just there.
In their own studios, you know.
Oh, in their studios in United Kingdom, Canada, and USA.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, Netflix and Disney will support the production teams for making the sustainable stats. They will pay more.
Yeah.
They have a kind of alliance right now.
I mean, they paying in Germany since like 2 years in doing that in green production, but it's good if they have also reorganize their studios, because the studios is one part of the ecological standards as well. So yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how you convince the government, I mean the federal, to be involved in this? Because I see that it started from the sector, from the industry itself, by the funding organization.
Yeah.
So how did the government involve in it?
Yes. It's happy that we in that time this all happens also get a green government in Germany. And the head.
So it was the right time.
It was the right time as well. I have to say that.
Also short time slot.
So and that's basically it. It's about Claudia Roth. She is Ministry of Culture in Germany, and she's one of the Greens, and she's very into the cultural sector, and it's her project also.
Because she's model. As far as I understand, we have a similar situation in Turkey. I mean, in many countries, media is more independent. Like in the UK, BAFTA, BFI, they are more independent. But I see that in Germany, you have big support from the government itself, from the industry. Here, it's the same. in Turkey, Ministry of Culture and Tourism is the center for running the media. In terms of governance, of course, we have a big private sector, but in terms of governance, the ministry is active. And I see that there's a kind of similarity in that sense with Germany. So it might be one of the best cases for Turkey, but you say that you had a kind of green government, which we don't have. So
Yeah, that's true. But I have to say, it started, like you said, from the industry, and a lot of players in the industry wanted to do that. And as I get it correct, that because of the power of the streamers in every country, there's also like a movement towards green film industry. If the government wants to do it or not, or industry wants to do it, they like going to be pushed a little bit into that direction.
But just to be sure, the federal film funding in Germany, it's government supported, right? It's not an independent body like BAFTA or I don't know, CSC in France. It's not like that. It's totally government.
The funding money is government funding, but we have like 16 states with nearly 16 funding system, and they are all independent, acting independent and supporting their cultural people.
They're acting independent, their management is independent from the government.
Yes.
That's
But the money comes from the government.
Yeah, but the management is not.
Yes, and that's why this MFG funding could start with it in the first place, because when they started, we had no green government.
Yeah.
You know?
But maybe.
Yeah.
But just to add to your question, so it's public money that is really important because we have laws about that, and we have like a federal law for film funding, and all the 16 countries or the states within Germany, they apply to this law, to like Filmfördergesetz.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's like one law, and all the 16 funders look at this law. So and this law also changed, so with the implication from green measures, for example, and we also have fundings from so all over Germany, so like a federal funding. So we have the state funding 16 times, but you have to produce then in the country, and then we have the federal funding.
Yeah.
But it was a great time, how you said, and now, for example, we have like a right-wing movement in Germany, and at this point they already say they don't want the green movement in film, so they are discussing
oppositions.
Yes. And next year there's the election, so when they come, we will see.
Yeah, and one big law has to go through the parliament now in the last movements of our green government. But this law also includes 30% tax refund for international film producers, which produce in Germany. Like all European countries have that tax refund. So the law will probably has to go through it because the whole industry went down the last 2 years in Germany. So we need that law. So the law will go through it, and with that law, also the ecological standards will go through it. So then it's a law, and it's not too easy to go away with that law. So they can't change that law so easily after that. Doesn't matter which government.
Yeah. And maybe one thing about the ecological standards, I think you didn't say it. It's like 22 criteria. We will go into detail later. 22 criteria, and you have at the moment 5 jokers. So of these 22 criteria, you can like set 5 jokers. There are some criteria which is not jokeable, I say. But this
so that
is like
means that 22 must criteria, which
must
the production
criteria
has to fulfill.
And a lot of target requirements also. And like for every part, the pre-production, production, post-production. So it's really, and it's like every year they evaluate it and change it, and
But for the start, it's doable.
It's a great basis.
It's a doable thing for the production. So the production don't get really like, oh God, what I'm doing. So it's like easy start. So get everybody used to it. You know, this is the idea.
Yeah.
So because you can't start too strong, otherwise everybody's like, no, I don't do that.
And also it's an issue of suppliers.
Sure.
If you don't
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure. If you don't have the infrastructure ready and mature as it should be, then
then you have to start slowly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And every country is different with the infrastructure. Every infrastructure of the countries is different. So you can't compare Turkey to Germany or Turkey to Kenya. I was in Kenya with green film producing. So there the infrastructure is totally different. Yeah. But they have other nice effects because they have green hydrogen of the mountains, of geoengineering. So this is another fact.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, every local condition matters. So we need localized strategies and standards. That's why.
And infrastructure, for example, is also the biggest problem in Germany. For example, we wanted to go to 3 jokers for next year, but now they said no, we stay with 5 jokers because the infrastructure is not there, like generators or like electric vehicles and stuff. So they say.
But we come to that all later on.
Yeah, we come to that later,
Yeah,
but just that you know what it is.
Yeah.
And with that, we come to the green consultant.
My job?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we already said, we are green consultants and we are a member of the board of the green consultants. This association includes 150 members, which are all working as green consultants in the media business, more or less. Some are just like watching what's happening. And yeah.
Only green consultant erstmal.
Only green consultant.
Ich mach den Verband dann.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, and we coming to the production in the pre-production and talking about that with the head-offs about what have to happen and what we're going to do. We're going to make a pre-calculation of the CO2 emissions, so we can see, okay, what's the plan of the production, and then we talk about, okay, where are the hotspots? Why do we have so much CO2 in this and this and this spot? And then we say, okay, how can we change that? Can we use no generators on this motive, or can we have instead like a vegetarian catering, or can we use electric cars in this thing, or can we talk with the costume that they only use the costumes of the actors or second-hand costumes, or can we use an art department like wood, which is like refurbished, which already has been used. Yeah. So all these hotspots we are going through with the production. And then we incentive the team, the head-offs at set, and we going to the set and check if the measures we talked about has been umgesetzt. Implemented. Thank you. And yeah, and we also making a briefing with the set assistants, with the people on the set that if we are not, because we are not on the set all the time. We're coming there for 1, 2, 3 times for a long movie in 27 days. Then we have someone who's responsible on the set where they say, okay, it's not always the same one. It's always someone is into the topic, and someone likes the topic, and someone likes to help. I mean, and then you have to talk with the production that he maybe gets or she gets a little bit more money for that, and so on, but it's doable. So, yeah. So these are like assistants on the set then. And at the end, we, again, doing a CO2 emission calculation and see what happened and if the measures were successful. And then we are rewriting a report. And also because there's a big topic about greenwashing in Germany, so there's also a new testing, not Prüfungsnachweisverfahren. Something you have to say at the end, okay, you really have to write it down. How often did the company fly? How many cars has been driven with diesel? With the sign of the cars. So they also, in case they're going to look.
Transporting budget. All the
this is also like diesel and benzene budgets, but in that case more like the diesel cars that you really have to get the plate number. So if they want to check it, they can see the plate number, register it, and say if it's true or not. So there are really like control parts in it. So it's that the greenwashing possibilities are not so big. Still, I mean, yeah.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things are handshake, Still.
Yeah.
But you have hard facts, yeah.
Can I ask something about
yet. We will come to that later. We will show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah?
I just wanted to ask if you are doing a provisional calculation in the beginning.
Yes.
And then you compare it in the end
Yes.
to the final.
Yes. Yes.
And maybe that's why you see there's also some bureaucracy now around that topic. So like with the check and with the certification. So that's also why we need the green consultant, because earlier they said, yeah, it's part of the production management, but they are full. They don't have space for that. And the green consultant is also part of the ecological standards. So one criteria of it is you have a green consultant that is like consulting you during the whole process. And yeah.
And do you have a special educational program for green consultants for individuals?
Yes, yes. Maybe then I come to the next slide, because like our federal association, for example, which is the BEGCD, also new in the industry, so the green consultant was like for the media industry new with this process of ecological standards that we said we need someone who will check on this. And then we also had a foundation of our association. We are 150 members, as Donald said already. And I think what is important here. Sorry?
The members comes from film industry or government or something?
Film industry. Yeah. So and this is also like
professional people also.
Yeah, that need to be professional and certified people. So this is our qualification standard that we say we take only people that are certified green consultant, and we have two like programs to become a green consultant, like certified programs, and we want to see their license and their vita, so that we know you have experience in the film industry, because otherwise it's without knowing like the whole process of filmmaking you can't consult. It's very hard. Yeah. Also like because the green consultant is not the easiest job, because a lot of filmmakers don't want to have anything to do with sustainability, and it's like, oh no, the green consultant and more work and I don't know. And we are like the bridge between production management and the whole crew, and you have to be very sensitive with this topic. Yeah.
And that's why you have to know the processes of filmmaking. Yeah.
And also we should find the best way and easy way to make the film on a big degree sustainable way.
Yeah. And for example,
people doesn't want to do that as from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. And because the system is like the people are working very hard, a lot of hours in the productions. Like in Turkey, even more, I think. Yeah. So, and because of that, you can't go to them and say you have to do this and this and this. You know, so you have to be very, very communicative, and you have to help them a lot, and to take a lot of work from them away. Otherwise, they don't want to implement these standards. Yeah.
May I ask?
Yeah.
As green consultants, from which team, DOP, lighting, or the production direction, are they coming from?
It's completely different. So, for example, in our federation, association, there are different kinds. So we have maybe, for example, camera people, we have decoration people, we have also makeup people that then do the program for green consulting, because they said, hey, in my department, it's important to think about that. And but also like from the production or like
directors,
DOPs. It's
really all
a whole range.
It's a mindset question.
But just to be certified, you're just looking for the experience in the film industry or the education from the film schools, etc.
No, film school education is not enough, because we need the professional background.
Also experience in the
film. Yeah.
Because professionals are using the old stuff.
Yeah. And that's, for example, in our association, we also developed guidelines. For example, there was one like makeup artist, and she developed now a guideline only for makeup, because you have plastic, for example, or microplastic and stuff.
Poison in the makeup, which is the makeup industry is a huge industry, and they are poisoning the people.
Yeah. And that, for example, is hard for a green consultant who works as a director.
Art department also is.
Art department also.
They are also using a lot of
art department is also a big topic.
And we're having a specialized green consultant in the art department. He has a big art department company and is specialized in green consultant as well. So this is like a really good combination.
Yeah, and we also have like green consultants specialized for documentary, commercial, fictional, because it's also a completely different approach. In commercial, you work completely different, very fast. You have the client.
The client.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, completely different to a funded film.
Yeah.
In the first place, I think it's sort of a management issue and a financial management issue. In the first place, that I say there should be people, of course, facilitating the communication with the real filmmaking within the real filmmaking process on the sets and whatever. But especially this carbon calculation issue and all the financial decisions. I mean, it feels like it's more like a management level thing. You know, the production, executive producing level thing.
It's true. It's true. It's a lot has to do with, we're talking a lot with the production leading, production coordinating, and at the end also with the final Filmgeschäftsführung.
Yeah, with the board.
With the board, because at the end all comes together at the board with all the invoices,
the leading,
with all the benzene and the diesel and stuff like that. And so we don't have to talk with all departments, but we have to talk with some head of like art department, costume, mask. Creative, not so much. Art department, yes, it's also creative and costume. But
directing departments.
We don't talk so much with directing.
Really?
No. The creative.
We want to.
We want to. We try to. This is green storytelling, which we're talking tomorrow. But at the moment, the creative decisions of directors are out of that. So if you have anything which is in front of the camera, it also can be an airplane. It's okay, you know. This is a creative decision, and this is.
It's contract.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes have to tell a message, and maybe you need an airplane, and the message is big and huge and will change the world. Compromise. Yeah, like politicians. Yeah. So, where are we here now?
So we go to the countries.
Yes.
A little bit.
So other countries, other customs. We, as the BVCDG, it's always hard to say, as our association working together with Switzerland at the moment, or to create a green board. This comes next in Switzerland, and they already created it, and that was a nice experience because it was across countries. And on behalf of that, sure, the English invented our own program. It's called the Albert program, and it's already founded in 2011. So they were they were more quick than Germans were. So they also were inspired, I think, like from the UCLA from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So they implemented their Albert system, and it includes also own CO2 e-calculators and a green production toolkit. And the green consultants in England called green cops, like green policemen. Yeah. So I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's the way it is. And they have their own academy where you can participate in online courses, which also can be a good solution maybe for Turkey in the first place now, before you have an own educating system where you can have own online courses to go deeper into the topic. We have that as well, but only in German, and English is easier a little bit, I think. Yeah, and then we have the next one.
Yeah, for example, in Austria, and you said it already, like the financial dimension of this topic is very discussed and very huge, because you know most of the people say, oh, green production, it's more expensive. And then you say, okay, where comes the money from? And so it's like the production is the same but green, and this means more. So most of the people don't think about like the process and how can we reduce something, how can we make it differently. It's more like we need more money to make it green, for example, another hotel, another generator, another vehicle. It's really like compared. And in Austria, I think they were the first ones.
Kann ich eine Sache dazu sagen?
To Austria? Or to
No,
the money?
to the money.
Yeah, do it.
I just want to say it's not always like that it has to be more expensive.
Yeah.
If you find measures and if you find a
That's what I meant.
procedure how you going to shoot that movie, and if you have a plan, you can lower the costs also. But normally it's more only because of the food for the team.
The infrastructure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the infrastructure at the moment is more expensive when you want to have a solar generator or something like that. But in Austria, they said, okay, they also have like ecological standards, something like this,
Yes.
not named like that.
Yeah.
But they said if you fulfill it, you get 5% more money. And with this money, you can have, I don't know.
And that's quite a lot. If you
Yeah.
like 1 million would be 50,000 euro more money. So this is something you can work with.
Yeah, and but like you said, so in the moment, for example, I would say like renting an electric car is not really more expensive at the
No.
moment. So this is also like, and for example, for the electric energy, I think for
It's
example,
easier
yeah,
if
it's
you
easier.
manage to have like plugins. It's easier. Electric energy has a lower cost than fuels. So, in that terms, you can lower the cost of the production. But the infrastructure again is not so that because you also need safety. You need to be quick somewhere, and then if you can't fill your car with electric energy, fuel is safer.
Yeah, yeah, and you said it already, but Austria implemented like a tax incentive system, and this is, for example, we also want to have in Germany, and this is the law you spoke about that, which is not implemented yet, and we hope it comes because the film industry suffers at the moment in Germany because also of inflation and other topics. And Austria did it very good, and for example, we come to that later also, CO2 compensation, is it a term to you? CO2 compensation? No?
You pay
Yeah.
for the associations to support environmental offsettings.
Yeah,
Yes,
something
exactly,
like that. Yeah. So you pay money and somewhere on the world they plant a tree.
Plant trees or
Yeah.
support social initiatives that work on environmental
Yeah.
sustainability. But what do you mean by saying compensation is possible in mobility? It's
Shoot in other countries?
Yeah, for example, in Germany we also have the standard about flights. So you are not allowed to fly when you have a train connection under 5 hours. We come to that also later. But some productions are like, maybe we can just compensate the CO2 of my flight and then I'm fine with the standard, But this is not valid. So in Germany,
In
when
Germany
you fly,
not, but in
Germany
Austria,
not,
yes.
Austria, yes.
Yes.
That's why it stands here. Yeah. So in Germany, CO2 compensation is not, not allowed.
Yeah. We also talk about compensation later on, because it's a discussed field, I would say.
Okay, then we come to France.
France, yeah. So the France Plan Action program of the CNC funding is working since 2021, and it's also part of the Green Deal and ecological and energy transition of cinema as part of it, and and they support this funding system supports the productions in this transition, and it's also financed by I don't know how much money. I could not find it out, but they are spending money for greener productions, and actually they are also doing it since 2021, also earlier than the Germans, and they also have startups in direction of art department to have an ecological circular economy website where you can find everything you need for the art department, for example. So you don't have to buy it new or to, and for costumes as well, I think. And and there are also tax rebates like in Austria, and they have a score system, and the score system is I don't know, it's kind of complicated and it's not very clear, so it's also not, there's also not like a certification for that, or like the ecological criteria in Austria or in Germany. Like France and England are doing like a little bit soft version of it, but still there's things happening. So, but you don't have any law system for that. No.
Yeah, but maybe for an example, what is the biggest difference? So in Germany, when you fly from let's say Berlin to Munich, and you have a train connection which is less than 5 hours, it's not allowed. But when you, let's say from, I don't know, let's say Istanbul to Berlin, you can fly as much as you want. So it's like they don't care. And in France, like every flight lowers the score. So also like from Paris to Marseille or something, I don't know, like short flights.
And also you have to say that France for itself prohibited all flights in the country. So you are not allowed to fly anymore in France, in the country. So this is for the whole country. It's not only for film industry. So therefore they are very advanced to Germany in some cases.
Ja, würde ich Frau Sommer jetzt in die CO2-Kalkulation reingehen, weil wir haben jetzt noch eine halbe Stunde.
Ja,
weil sonst
was haben wir dann sonst noch?
Lunchbreak würde jetzt ja nicht kommen schon.
Lunchbreak, achso, ja, dann gehen wir die CO2, oder wir machen noch eine Communication. Nee, gehen wir zu CO2.
Ja,
dann machen wir doch schneller, ne?
Ja.
Das ist super.
Okay. Let me check if this works now.
So if any questions appeared, you're just free to ask now if you want to again. And we're going to open now the CO2 calculation system of Germany.
I'm just wondering something.
Yeah.
When we talk about the different countries, we talk about Switzerland,
Yeah.
UK, Australia,
Yeah.
France, Germany. For example, for the co-productions, how do things work? Who gives the certificate to the green consultant? Who gives the green label to the production?
Yeah.
How things work?
Yeah.
It's a co-production.
Yeah, that's a good question. So if it's a German co-production, right? Or okay, if it's I can talk about a German co-production. It's like that the part which played in Germany, so the money which gives out in Germany for production, pre-production, post-production, is falling under the law of the ecological standards. So therefore you have to make a CO2 calculation, you have to make the criteria happen of the ecological standards, and the rest, like which happens outside of the country, is free how to produce whatever they want.
Then, for example, you have shooting locations both in Germany and France.
Yeah.
For the locations in Germany, you have to follow the German regulations, and for the France, you have to follow the French regulations.
Yes.
Special law. Special law.
It's a special law, yeah. And in Germany, it's like if you have like a production which the money, more than 25% of the money is given out in the international Ausland.
Abroad.
And thank you. And then it's everything which is international. They can handle it how they want to handle it. But if it's lower than 25%, then all the production has to be like on the ecological standards.
Is there an international labeling system for production?
No, there's no international label. We have one label, and we left out green motion actually. Matteo, right?
Yeah.
So talking about the label, because the ecological standards, and I talked about the testing procedure to make sure there's no greenwashing. So therefore they invented a label, and this label called green motion. And green motion stands behind all the as a security system, kind of, yeah. And therefore they every 2 years there's a prescription for like economical testing from like PricewaterhouseCoopers or something similar. At the moment it's PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they like testing every 10th production with a special testing procedure if it's really hold on to the ecological standards. And this green motion label is very important, and because it's the only label so far in Europe with that strictness and with that system. And yeah, we want to, or one of our wishes is that to make the Green Motion label with other countries that they join us with that label, so we can get a stronger the label and not get a lot of labels, like one label there, one label there, one label there. Many labels always means like nothing. Yes. Yeah, and but it's also not like a critical topic, because it costs money if PVC are testing the production. So therefore, at the moment, a lot of broadcast television channels, which have allowed thousands of formats every year, they would have to pay really much. So they decided to have their own testing system and don't use the label anymore. So we are in a process where the label gets weaker, and other broadcasters, but it's all based on the ecological standards, but not everyone taking the same label at the end. But we wish that they would, but at the moment it's a little bit critical.
Yeah, maybe we can show you a little bit around that. So this is, for example, the document that you have to write at the, I make it a little bit smaller. It's called like the final report. And you have to give this to the PVC or to the broadcaster as well. So you write who is the production manager, who is the producer, who is the green consultant, the time of realization, and of course the name and the genre. And then you have here the different criteria.
Fulfilled or not fulfilled.
Yeah,
and
fulfilled.
The reason why not. You have to write it down.
Yes and no. And for example, here you have to type the CO2. You see in the final it's higher because, for example, you have more additional shooting days.
Yeah.
And no one knows about that. And when you have a no, so not fulfilled, you have to argument, or you have to say why.
Can you translate, for instance, that you couldn't fulfill?
Yeah, this one is, for example, green energy in the post-production. And this is a very simple criteria. So
in Germany.
In Germany. So if you have a post-production house and you have no green energy, you cannot. And here it was a no because they said, there was a new production board and they changed the tariff. I don't know if that's the name.
They changed the energy company.
Like the contract, and then we say, they ordered a new contract in 2025. But this was really stupid that we have a no here. And then we have, for example, no flights. Like I said, when train ride is under 5 hours, and we said time-wise not possible. And then we have, vehicles. And then we say, a lack of infrastructure. Was not possible to have enough electric cars. And this is, for example, catering, vegetarian catering, where we go with this later. Yeah, so at the end, you see here 17 of 22, and we have 18, so we are fine. And then this is important when you have more than 25% of costs abroad.
Tell again, but like I just taught about the international productions, yeah.
Yeah, when you have 25 of the budget is spent abroad, more than 25%, then you have to do a new report, or like a separate report for everything abroad. And then this is important that you have the signature of the producers. Yeah, so maybe this is important.
Is it available online?
Yeah, it's available here, greenmotion.org. I don't know if it's in
English, I think.
You can here go to
Abschlussberichte.
Abschlussberichte, yeah, formulas like this. And then you send here downloads, and here's, for example, also a German, an English one. Where is it?
Are these all reports like you showed?
No, it's like this is the report abroad. This is old.
So are they templates or
Yeah.
are they some kind of research about the things in Germany?
It's a template. And then you can, like a PDF, and you can work with that.
And you have the ecological standard in English, but I don't know. Abschlussbericht sehe ich jetzt nicht, ne?
No, here's the Abschlussbericht.
Yeah, but it's not English, right?
I think the English one is. I don't know. It's not very international.
No.
But this is maybe so. What you, Donald, talked about this. We have also the more complex one.
Yeah.
Looks like this.
Yeah.
This is like a very complex Excel sheet. And
afterwards to check
yeah.
if you did greenwashing or not. Yeah.
And here, for example, you
This
not.
is for carbon calculation.
Yeah, this not only,
Not
but
only, no.
here's, for example, carbon calculation, and then you say in energy and transport and catering and material. You split it up.
We're coming to carbon calculation after that.
Yeah.
But then you have this, show that.
Yeah, and then you have to, for example, you have here.
So first you fill in the report about the must do's.
No, first you're doing the pre-calculation.
Yeah.
Then shooting goes on, shooting is over, then you do the final calculation and doing the final report and doing this Nachweisverfahren, this
like
testing
approval.
procedure.
Does this Excel provide you a final report with just showing all the data in one page as a report?
You have to get it out from the...
Like the PGA one. You know, the PGA's carbon calculator? Producers Guild of America. They have a similar calculator, Excel, and as a final page that provides you all the data you entered as a report.
They're not connected with each other. The final report is not connected with this, so it's handwork still.
Yeah.
When do you fill in that report, including 22 must-dos?
At the end of the production.
At the end
And
of the production.
nearly, not at the end of the post-production, but in between end of shooting and end of post-production, kind of. Because at
When
the
they-
end,
yeah,
they
like
want...
at the rough cut.
At the rough cut, yeah. Because they need the label for the
Post-production.
for the finals. So
The credits.
yeah, but you talk with a post-production coordinator and talk about what happens. Okay, tell me how many more hotel nights, how many more flights, how much more energy or how much more cutting days you need, and then you take that information and put it into the final CO2 calculation.
And as I understood, it's not only declaration, you also give proofs with the report.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is this.
Yeah. You see it here. For example, this is about green energy, and you cannot like earlier it was like green energy, yes, and now it's like green energy, yes, but which supplier, and also like the certification. And
so it's getting concrete.
Yeah.
You know, really concrete. Yeah.
And here it's the same. So you have to write the generators. Where was it? Why did you use it? The amount of the generators, like how big it is. Same goes for light. And here, for example, this is the flight section, and then you have to say the airports as well, and the dower. The
range. No.
This is like the train ride in hours, so you have to write it, and when it's above 5, it's automatically out.
So it's quite bureaucratic.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's necessary to make the ecological standards strong.
Yeah. And here, for example, you said it already. There's also like a second stage of approval.
Yeah.
And
Second
this is
stage.
goes really much into detail. Then you also have to deliver photos of the set, for example, that you say, yeah, we separated the trash, the waste. Yeah. So yeah, this is.
But it's work in progress, right? Also for the state and for everyone. So it's new and it's development all the time. You have to say, okay, what is possible in reality, and then they say, okay, this doesn't work. We have to change it. So it's work in progress all the time.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which choice is better for the environment? Using special effects in the sets, or using visual effects and its consumption of energy?
Yeah, it's a good question, and this is not easy to answer because it depends also on the infrastructure of the country in which the post-production takes place. If you have like a very high energy animation thing going on, yeah, and you rendering with GPUs or CPUs, then you're using a lot of energy, and if it's not green energy, then it's a lot of CO2 which goes into the atmosphere. Then maybe it's much better to shoot it on location, in real. Same thing with it's a different thing with the LEDs, you know, with the LED whole 360
Virtual.
thing. Yeah. That's yeah. And this one is quite nice because you have a remote team somewhere in Canada. They're shooting the scenes, 3 people. Whole the rest of the team stays in Turkey. You get the material, go into this LED thing, and then you shoot everything what you want. This is a really good possibility. Also, if you don't have green energy, because you're saving all the flights to Canada for the whole team and all the logistic and transportation things. Yeah. So it always depends.
But also these cyclists are using a lot of energy.
Sure.
Too much.
That's true, but in comparison to it, like 30 people flying to Canada, it's like, you know, sometimes it's in a relation it's better than.
But also it depends on the cooperation of the director with this idea.
Yes, sure. If a director likes the idea of remote team, it's new also.
Creative ideas also are impact to the how to.
Sure. That's why we like to talk to the directors, but we are not allowed.
They will decide it.
And also, I mean, the storytelling is the biggest possibility you have to save energy or to give good messages which spread around the world. We have a lot of nice examples for that tomorrow.
We should start on script, I guess.
On what, sorry?
We should add the script, I guess.
The script?
Script.
Yeah, script. It's the first thing, script.
Yeah, exactly.
But just one more thing, because this was a very good question. In this case, for example, when you have, I don't know, we need snow or we need rain on set, as a green consultant, you should then really discuss with the art department, how would you do it and what possibilities do you have? And maybe they say, yeah, we do it here like with a very poisoned, snowy thing, I don't know. But maybe they also have like a sustainable alternative or I don't know. And this is a very good scenario because for us as green consultants, you cannot be expert in every department, but you have to listen and to speak with them how you can make it more sustainably, maybe. And but this is, you should do it at a very early stage. But sometimes it's like we need a green consultant and the shooting is tomorrow. And it's funny, what can I change in 3 hours?
Then normally we say, no, we can't do the job because we need time in advance. Otherwise it's like greenwashing.
Yeah. And I just wanted to show, you see here, this is the final amount of CO2, so 11 tons. And when we go to the CO2 calculation, you see it again, it's here, the 11 tons. And this is like the CO2 report. This is also part of the final report you have to give. And here you see the same, so year of realization. And then you have like this split. So we see most of the time the transport is the most CO2. Yeah. So it's nearly like 80-90% is transportation. So like cars.
Depends on the project.
Yeah, it depends on the project, but most of the time. So when you have maybe studio productions, the energy part is way higher. Yeah. But in this was like a local.
In general, studio production is more sustainable than on location because you're not moving so much. You are in a controlled room, and you are much faster.
Yeah. So with that, we go here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like all my CO2 calculations, and then you can, for example, we go here. So, and now you see here, like pre and final. You know, you have to, I think it's also like color-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I go on the final. And then you have here energy, transport, catering, and material. And for example,
Geh mal in Energy rein.
ich glaube, was abgeschlossen ist, kann ich hier nichts bearbeiten. Wait a second.
We have to make a new production because this already is closed, so you can't go in.
I can't change anymore. Here it is. Yeah, for example,
energy.
I have here really different options. For example, post-production. I can go into post-production of images. Then I say, for example, like an editing suite. I have an editing suite with 2 monitors. I can also say 5 monitors. I have maybe, let's say, 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I can say here, like green energy or like normal energy. We take the normal one. And I say one thing. I can here type editing, save it, and then you see here the amount of CO2. I delete it because otherwise it's a mess. And for example, I think this is the most, for example, here we have the transportation, so flights, and the flight thing is very interesting because we can really go into detail and say, for example, from Istanbul to Berlin, let's say, back and forth, one person, economy.
One flight.
Yeah, and then he searched for the airports, the concrete ones. Here I can also take the SAV. Zack. And then we see this is the range of kilometers. Then say Istanbul flight. Then you see here the CO2, 300 grams in this
Yeah,
case.
that's 34 kilos.
Kilos, sorry, kilos.
Is this system open for all the production companies or individuals as well?
Individuals as well.
Yeah.
It's because, but it's as well a German one. I don't know if there's an English. There's an English version. There's an English version.
Yeah.
You can use it.
Is there a subscription fee like our one?
No, not for the beginning. If you just make the pre-calculation, and also not for the final calculation. But if you want to have the final report, then you have to pay.
Then you pay. Okay.
At the end. Yeah.
And I believe the standards are based in Germany. I mean, like the carbon factors, all those mathematical issues. It must be according to Germany's system.
Yes. Yes.
If you are not shooting in Germany, it is not valid.
Some things not, right? Flights, yes, but like some things, if you have not the right mix, energy mix or whatever, like sure, the formal or the mathematic behind it changes with countries. That's true. Yeah.
The carbon factor.
Yeah, the carbon factors.
It's calculated mostly by the governments, and they have different numbers for each country depending on.
Yes. I think we are. This calculation system is based on the Goethe-Institut in Germany. It's the biggest institute for ecological measurements and so on, and it's also one of the most relevant in Europe, I think. So we have more. It's not the only CO2 calculation system we have. We have another one. It calls the Green Toolkit.
Yeah.
Working toolkit. And a third one.
You also have, like, for example, @Green. This is like a commercial calculator. Some people use it.
But they all have the same mathematics behind.
Yeah, European Union standards. They mostly use European Union standards. That's why.
Yeah.
And Green Toolkit started a kind of different calculation, taking film as an industrial product. And this calculation issue is problematic as well. They
Yes.
are not sure what to include and what to exclude. So now they're trying to standardize production as film as a product
Yes.
in terms of industry.
You mean the ISO certification they had, like?
I don't remember the.
They have an ISO certification,
But
and
it's just very recent.
yeah, very recent, like 1 month ago.
Yes.
So they have that ISO certification, and ISO sees the film as a product. But they're still using the same mathematics because they have to be comparable to the other CO2 calculation system of the Culture Ministry. So, but it's as all, it's like a trial and error and work in progress.
And what they implemented is, for example, that you have an automatic comparison. So when you say, yeah, I have an on-location production, 10 shooting days, and then you have the CO2 calculation, it says you are very high in comparison to others with 10 shooting days. And this is also important for CO2 because you have to see, like, I don't know, for a TV show, like for a studio production, we are very high or we are very low, and then you can see why is that.
Why is that?
Yeah. And here, for example, I just wanted to show you, this is kilometers of the flight, Istanbul flight, and I just, for comparison, for example, with train, it's like 13 kilos of CO2 for the same amount of kilometers. This is diesel.
And you take an international train, right?
No, this is a German train, of
So
course.
this is a German train, so it's not true because we're using a lot of different trains to get to Istanbul.
And different connection, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So the
But you
European
could
one,
use international trains once, just to show
I
it.
think that's way higher than.
Yeah, we also have the possibility to use international trains, so there's another mathematics behind that.
And okay, yeah. Europe.
Europe, it's also only Europe.
How long did it take to create this
Same.
calculation system?
To create that,
Yeah.
I mean,
How long?
So the creation is not the long part, the data collecting is the long part, because like production management.
As a whole, the process.
Yeah. And
How
you,
long did it take? Like 2 years working or another?
no, I mean, what do you mean with the data collection? I mean, to
Like-
create
like-
a CO2?
no, the create.
Sure, yeah.
You need like to ask the production managers, and sometimes also for the final report, we need so how many kilometers do you drive and something.
The design, Sie meint, wie lange dauert es, einen CO2-Rechner zu erstellen, das sowas zu bauen. Yeah. So this, yeah.
Understand,
So a
okay.
lot of infos are out there already.
Yeah.
But sure, if you create a Turkish CO2 calculation, you get to find new data as well. And this depends on how you can work together with the different part of the infrastructure as well.
And we already have published one as an Excel in an Excel format. It's quite simple, but this is something different. This is like similar to the Albert one.
Yeah.
This is sort of an application. This is you have to work with like digital developers, like computer programming issue and so on and so forth. So the work load for this, like the time, I'm just curious about
I mean, the setup for this is, I think there are a lot of like plugins you can use for that, as in terms of graphic design or web design and stuff like that. This is not the crucial part. The crucial part is how is the Turkish or
formulation,
the mathematics behind it.
Yeah.
This is the crucial part. Yeah.
And you see.
thing is the content, not the Excel or the app. I think you're just looking for a budget for project.
No, but this question is also for us too much, because therefore you have to ask like Climate Active or the Green Toolkit how they work, but still they can't give you like the right answers because they can only say maybe it's like that because Turkey is different than Europe from a lot of like basics.
Well, the thing is that the items you
Yeah.
put there as information,
Yeah.
they're not brand new. They're already calculated
Yes.
for some other industry.
Yeah. Also.
So the items are fixed,
Yeah.
all around the world. It's the same for Turkey.
Okay.
as well.
the setup is the issue. Like
Okay, but I think the setup is not so. I would say, but I'm not a web designer or graphic designer or content creator, so in that direction.
But this was also, maybe it goes in this direction because the first version of the calculator was highly discussed because it was not so near to the film industry, but there was a lot of people said, we need to calculate that and we need to calculate wood and we need to calculate, I don't know. And that was like, needed a lot of rounds to have this now.
And the mathematics was not right on all points, so they changed it as well. So you have to, it's a work in progress, but once you start it, you are in this process, and then it's like you're working with the industry and with the mathematics, and
And that's what you see here when you click on the information button. You see here data source, and this is, for example, 2016 eco passengers, eco transit, 2015 the data source for European trail transportation. And when I go to the flight here, then it's a very long data source. It's something like Eurocontrol. The Umweltbundesamt. So like this, like a federal, like a ministry for these things.
For environmental questions.
Yeah, environmental questions, and and this is like the data collection. So.
But also here, you see no year. Yeah. this is a question. Why is there no year? So this is also like could be something we can say. Why is there no year from the information? So also this is not finished.
No, definitely not.
It can never be finished because it always needs updates.
Yes.
For the data.
Yeah, and for example, like for the flight, it's really complex because when you have a short flight, the plane is not that high, and the higher you go, the much worse it's for the climate, because you have like also aerosols and stuff like that, and in the higher atmosphere, it's even worse. So, but it's kind of mathematics in this. So when you have a short flight, it's differently. Yeah. Okay, we have 10 more minutes. We go to the catering. Maybe it's also interesting because here you also have a lot of possibilities. For example, you can go to vegan, vegetarian, or like reduced meat, and then you can say, I don't know, it's like
a whole meal or full catering, full day
catering. So with breakfast and everything, and then you also can say it's biological, for example, or it's like regional, or it's like seasonal. I mean, you need that information from the caterer, and it's like not so easy to calculate. But in the end, you can say, I don't know, 100 persons, let's say.
Also, the caterer, this is also what I meant before, it's a handshake agreement, because the caterer has not all the invoices from all his suppliers. And there are some who have that already. It's starting to be implemented, but normally not. If you have regional food, especially not. Seasonal food. It doesn't say it's on your bill, it's seasonal. Yeah. But the difference is quite big in between normal meat food
you see it here.
Vegan.
So we have like 100, this is standard.
Also, vegan foods can have biggest carbon emissions. For example, when we have to import some fruits or vegetables, it can cost so much more than meat.
Yeah, that's why we have this point with seasonal and regional. But in terms of biological food, there are a lot of like fruits coming from Argentina or South Africa or Chile. They say it's biological, and they come via plane. But in terms of CO2 emissions, it's not worth it. So you should not.
Yeah. And that's why you also have like the regional part. And this is, for example, most of the time you don't have the time to talk with the catering, because the catering is like immediately talking with the production management. But sometimes for us it's possible, and then you say, hey, what is the plan and what are you doing? And let's see here, maybe there's a local farm or something we can also support. Because that's what I like about the film industry. You go somewhere, at some place,
that's funny,
and then you can see what is around and how can we push it and how can we use it. And it's really nice, but sometimes the people don't have the time for that. So it's just here the comparison, vegan comparison for 100 people. It's a difference. Yeah.
It's a third, nearly.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last part, or the last minutes, because this is a very big field, the material. I don't know, something here working with art department? No.
As a producer, yes.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, because then you know a little bit, because you can here go into every different kind of.
Not every, but
a lot, or like the standard ones. Yeah, so like here we have all the wood things, and here like for the ground floor, carpet paintings.
Also the folies for the lamps.
Yeah. But this is now really detail.
Yeah.
So to get this information is hard, because also for the art department, because it's also very flexible on set. They say we need some more wood, and it's like in an hour they buy it or something. So this is hard.
And also the art department like has really a problem with the extra work, because they also working on the edge. So every extra work is a little bit painful.
Yeah.
So this is always like there we have to be a very close communication and helping them and so on, and being charming.
Yeah. And this one is also very important, because you said before, like it can be that you have a plane in front of the camera, and it's very important to also calculate all the play cars and the play vehicles. And here, for
Everything which is
example,
in front, yeah.
yeah, you can also like have the jet or kerosene for jets, also for big ships or.
I had a big ship in my last production, and we took the ship for 3 hours, so then I could calculate how much emissions that would be.
Yeah. And yeah, here for example you also have costumes. So normally, or in the best case, you have like fundus. What is it?
Some like fundus is like
a rental,
like a rental for costumes.
Rental for costumes.
You have that in
yeah,
not second hand, but it's more like
Industry wardrobes.
industry guard. You have that in Turkey?
Yes.
Yes?
In Istanbul we have a lot.
That's good, because this is one very sustainable thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also for requisites, decoration.
Yeah.
But if you do some special films for some special dates,
yeah,
for some special century,
yeah,
you have to product new ones.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But like all this fundus, how do you call it?
Guardrobe.
Guardrobe, but guardrobe for renting, right?
Yeah.
Guardrobe. This is really a backbone for sustainability in the film industry. And in Germany it's a problem because like the rent for these buildings where all the wardrobes are in is getting so high because of the inflation that they say, okay, we can't do it anymore. We sell it, and then the costume designer has no place to go.
Okay.
And this is a trend. Like a big Spanish company bought all the wardrobe of Germany nearly. So they, yes, it's really funny.
In Turkey, television companies also have some special wardrobes in their buildings.
Yes, yes.
Some decoration materials, for example, the tables and chairs, they use to change just only the tissue.
Yeah.
They use again.
Yes, and this is
has that.
That has to stay like this, because in that terms, film was already very sustainable, and we just have to look for that it doesn't disappear.
Especially like for historical films.
Yeah.
You need all the things for the older world.
Yeah.
And for example, there are now some costume designers with a big cellar, and they have their costumes by their own. Because like all these rentals, they suffer also.
Yeah,
and
disappearing.
We have a big trend in Germany that the production companies produce in the east, so like in Bucharest, Budapest, Prague, and so on, because it's way cheaper. And also the rental companies go to the east and have their center there, or travel with plane with all the costumes and stuff. It's sad. It's very sad.
Especially for the theaters in Turkey, there are huge places that you can just take the costumes and get back.
Yes.
But for the cinema sector, I don't know that. For state theater,
Yeah.
there are big hangars.
Yeah.
Istanbul for cinema industry.
Just for special costumes.
We have
a big collection, I think, the accessories and costumes together.
Yeah, we're coming to that point later after the lunch also, because the trend is then, if you don't have that, the costume designers have to go to Primark or somewhere and buy like, because they also have to check it with the actors if it fits or not. So they buy a lot, and Primark is good because you can give it back. But in that way, you're supporting like systems
Fast
which
fashion.
are not sustainable.
Yeah, that's a hard trend. So, do you have any questions to this calculator? We also have the energy. I don't show you in detail, but
generators maybe.
Yeah, you have here.
Yeah.
No.
But you can calculate all the materials used in a film shoot.
No,
right?
no, not all.
Are,
No.
are there, because
The hotspots.
There are not emission factors of some materials.
No,
You
not
cannot
all.
find it, so
Not all.
that's
Some materials are also very complicated in the chemical.
Yeah.
So you can't have any. You can always say burn it. Yeah, that's easy. Then you have like waste, and you say, okay, 500 kilo, burn it, and then you get the.
Which materials are those?
These are like which are often used by the art department, like wood, like floors, like paintings, some like big parts of the art department. Small things of requisite, small parts are not possible at the moment. I mean, you can't pay anyone for that. Right.
Yeah, so maybe last one here, it's very nice when you have the motives, because that's really hard to calculate when you shoot in a bar, for example, or some lost place. It's hard to calculate. Okay, at a lost place maybe you have a generator. But here you can say like the art of motive.
Yeah.
So for example, a school or a sport place or a theater, a cinema, a bar, a hotel,
office complex,
an airport, hospital, a fitness, a gym, like a gym. Yeah, so you have a lot of possibilities, but again, you need the data of here, for example, from the light department, from the energy department, and you have to ask all these people.
Location manager is very important.
So
location manager gives you a lot, the size of the locations, what kind of energy is used, and so on. So location manager is very important partner.
Yeah.
For this calculation, I think so. The pre-production is very important. You have to have all the details about your productions.
Yes.
In Turkey, we used to do production during to change everything.
Yes.
For that reason, not only the data that we have to learn, to know, to find,
yes.
also we have to learn the detailed pre-production.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, totally right.
Otherwise, you can't calculate and to give the result decision to the production, because in the middle of the way we can change everything.
Sure, it's the same in Germany.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's different. Yeah,
same but different.
Same but different. Yeah, but you have that. It's always happening that you have to change everything in the middle of the production. Suddenly.
It can be okay.
An actor's getting sick. A location gets away.
Yeah, you have to stay flexible.
In Istanbul, and it can be end in Antep, because some reasons. In Turkey, that it's not planned.
I mean, all of this for the moment is very complicated to make in a country like Turkey. This green production has a lot to do with the infrastructure, and if the infrastructure is not there, you only can take little parts of it. The more powerful tool is green storytelling.
But it's not calculated. It's only promoted. Green storytelling is promoted, but it's not calculated.
I mean, it's all about creativity. If you have a really good story, which is about green storytelling, then you will have a success, and then Netflix will come and buy it. You don't get.
Sometimes they can give wrong messages as well. So that, as she said, calculation. I mean, there should be some sort of mutual understanding about the audience effect. More research on that. You know? They can give some messages. They say that. I mean, we have like applied the planet placement or applied the planet storytelling, but you just use I don't know, a character which is not a very positive character saying that, and they still say that that's a client.
Yeah. You're right.
That's planet placement.
Yeah.
But what is the effect of that on the audience? Audience watches it, and really does it affect in a positive way or?
Should be, otherwise it's not green storytelling.
At all. So there should be some sort of. I mean, that's a work in progress as well.
We have a lot of examples tomorrow for that. We're going into that deep tomorrow.
But yeah, sure, the impact is hard to calculate. So also on the change of behaviors, for example, or but it's an interesting field.
Yeah.
And also very localized as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes global.
Yes.
Okay, so 12 o'clock, I would say. Thank you so much, and we go into the ecological standards later.
Sustainability. Thanks a lot. We will be continuing by 1 o'clock. It's time for lunch.
1:30.
Thanks a lot. We'll be back by
I don't know.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Perfect. Okay. Super.